Coming up on Mountain News this morning, 12 new apartment units are providing a fresh start for people who have been hurt, often by ones they love.
And on Tuesday, we told you about 15 horses shot and killed in Floyd County. In that time, the story has reached people across the country, prompting some to donate and up the reward.
Plus, a Southern Kentucky mother was arrested, accused of endangering her child after a 4-year-old was found wandering outside alone.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 5:32 on December 19th. I'm Madison Pergram.
And I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning into Mountain News on this Thursday.
It is Thursday, Friday Eve, as we like to call it. And a lot of kids, are waking up today. It's like, I just have to get through today, through school, because tomorrow they know it's a big party. Work is being done.
I was talking with Tommy Poole last night. He's from the Indianapolis area. They got almost a foot in his hometown. They still went to school because it's finals week on no delays.
Nice. We don't do that here in Kentucky. Let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon, we still go to school, or we don't go to school when there's a foot of snow.
You know why we don't go to school when there's a foot of snow?
Because we don't get a foot of snow?
Because Indiana is this.
Because we don't get a foot of snow.
Because we don't get a foot of snow.
But we literally just push the snow off of the roads in Indiana. It's all flat country up there. There's no mountains to get over top of. This morning, though, no snow, unfortunately. Sorry, Will. But cold temperatures are around as we head out the door this morning. Teens in most areas, down to 15 in Irvin and Monticello right now. 20s are becoming more scarce there across the region. Winds a little bit there out of the north, which is creating some wind chills. Down to 5s, what it feels like right now in Monticello. That sensor's always a little bit off, though. And then teens across most of the area there. Temperature change from yesterday, not a lot because it was cold yesterday morning, too, but still anywhere between 3 and 9 degrees colder than it was this time yesterday morning. Temperatures will continue to fall for a little while, and then we'll see those climb and maybe to the mid-40s this afternoon with some sunshine. We'll have the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. You could look at it this way. If we had a foot of snow on the ground, we wouldn't be talking about other things that are being talked ad nauseum. So there could be a silver lining to that. Thanks, Brandon. Well, 12 new apartment units are providing a fresh start for people who have been hurt, often by the ones that they love. The new affordable housing complex opened in Hazard for domestic violence victims and their families to help them rebuild and recover. Andrea Miller with Kentucky Coalition Against Domestic Violence says this provides them with the opportunity to focus on their goals.
To see a family or a single individual who's experienced a traumatic event or several traumatic events over the course of their lives, to have a place where they can call their own, they can be independent.
Miller says if you have more questions about the housing, you can contact the local agency LKLP Safe House. There are a total of 84 units like this across the state.
And now to Central Kentucky. That is where a Montgomery County pawn shop owner is facing multiple charges after investigators say they found hundreds of stolen items. Police say that includes hundreds of guns and thousands of dollars worth of drugs. The owner, Scott Hardy, did not have a license to sell the firearms. Another woman named Beth Willis was also arrested.
A scam alert for students at Morehead State University. University police say they have received several complaints that students are getting emails about job offers asking for personal information. Police urge students not to give any personal information that includes your birth date, social security number, and driver's license through email. If you have any doubt, police say to call the company.
And a woman has been cited after police say she sold generic Viagra at a Paducah convenience store. Police say they got a tip about this from a health inspector. Investigators say Thelma Massaud had 210 boxes of medication. She was cited for trafficking in a legend drug.
On Tuesday, we told you about 15 horses shot and killed in Floyd County. In that time, the story has reached people across the country, prompting some to donate and up the reward.
What was originally a $500 reward is now in the thousands. WYMT's Connor James has more on what happened.
It's being called one of the worst cases of animal cruelty in the county.
This person is still walking around, among us.
15 horses shot and killed, some less than 1 year old, others pregnant. It devastated Megan Goebel, enough so that she's added $200 to the reward.
I myself have been up there. I've got pictures with them, and now, a good chunk of them are gone.
An animal lover and the owner of a local animal salon, she posted a plea to Facebook looking for whoever did this.
This morning I woke up to 13,000 shares, and my phone has not stopped.
The post and several others have been shared tens of thousands of times.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy.
While she's being flooded with Facebook messages, phone calls have been nonstop at the Floyd County Sheriff's Office.
Well, we've had a very heartwarming of support of people wanting to help.
These pink slips are from calls related to the case, mostly people who want to chip in.
So a lot of people have called expressing either their concern or offering monetary support, however.
It's been an outpouring of support, not just from local businesses, but people across the country.
You know, we think of the bad of the person who did this, but man, you see so many good people wanting to help.
The people in this area are very concerned with what happened, and they want answers. They want answers to what happened.
As of right now, there are still no leads in the case.
Again, that was Connor James reporting. The reward is at least $3,000 as of now, and donations are still coming in. Sheriff Hunt says they are working to set up an account so that if something happens and the reward is not needed, people can get their money back. They will be going back later today for more evidence.
And early Saturday morning, a car struck and killed 32-year-old Jonathan Cleary of Pikeville along US 23. Yesterday, his funeral service was held at the Lickyville Free Will Baptist Church in Belfry. While family and friends mourn the loss of their loved one, they also want answers as to what happened and where police are with the investigation.
It's not right. You just get woke up and told that your son was involved in a fatal accident, and that's all they could tell you. They couldn't even tell you where the right hospital was.
Police say a juvenile hit Cleary, and they do not expect charges to be filed at this time. Cleary was a father of 7 and engaged to be married next fall.
Kentucky State Police say they found the body of a man swept away in floodwaters in Greenup County. Investigators were called out to State Route 2 and Kentucky 7 in the Lode community on Tuesday. After searching the area, troopers found a vehicle in a heavily flooded field. They later found 50-year-old David Rice. State police say Rice tried to cross the flooded part of a roadway and was swept away in the fast-moving water. Police say Rice got out of his car and tried to swim to safety before disappearing in the water.
And a Southern Kentucky mother was arrested accused of endangering her child, and police say 29-year-old Jennifer Tritt left her kids home with a man who was not capable of caring for them.
A 4-year-old got out and wandered away. Police say luckily a firefighter and a social worker found him. WYMT's Phil Pendleton breaks down the case for us.
A 911 call of a little boy found walking by himself just after midnight Tuesday morning on Kentucky Highway 11 near Manchester.
Anything could have happened to this kid.
According to the police citation, this little boy, a 4-year-old, in the middle of the night, walked a mile from home over railroad tracks and through high water. Police say the little boy said he wandered out because he could not find his mommy. The mother, 29-year-old Jennifer Tritt, said she left to give a friend a ride and thought the 4-year-old and a 9-year-old sibling were okay in the care of an older man.
When Deputy Ashurst arrived, the 9-year-old and the elder gentleman was asleep. And from my understanding, I don't think the older gentleman was in shape of taking care of the kids.
Police say also concerning was what they found on the bedroom floor.
Also, Deputy Ashurst found a loaded shotgun in the floor, in the bedroom floor.
Tritt was charged with endangering the welfare of a minor and wanton endangerment.
You know, that little 4-year-old, let's say she'd have got back home, and she, might have thought he'd been asleep. She might have went to bed herself, not knowing he'd snuck out of the house and gone.
Tritt said she did not want to talk to us about her case. In Knox County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Social services were called to take custody of the children.
And a man is behind bars after police say they found his young children outside in freezing temperatures. Keith Martin is charged with endangering the welfare of a minor. Last night in Jackson County, deputies say they received a call from a man who said his 2 small grandchildren were at his door crying. He said they told him that their dad had left them alone to go to the store. When Martin arrived home, he said his dad broke into his home and took the kids. Martin later admitted to leaving the kids alone.
Well, Michael Clark spent 20 years in and out of prison for 7 different drug trafficking charges in Harlan County. For the past 3 years, he has been clean, out of jail, and working for addiction recovery care.
Well, last night he got the news former Governor Matt Bevin pardoned him, clearing his record. WYMT's Emily Bennett talked to him about what that means and giving him a clean slate.
A criminal record that dates back almost 20 years.
It spiraled out of control, one drug to the next. The drugs changed, but really everything remains the same. It was something that had a hold of me that I couldn't let go.
Michael Clark spent the last 2 decades in and out of jail until a moment that made him hit rock bottom.
December of 16 is when I received a letter from my daughter saying her and her brother, which is my son, were done with me. And it finally broke my heart because I realized at the age of 38 I had wasted my whole life.
When he was released 6 months later, he was determined to get back on his feet.
I regret some of the things I've done, but in all honesty, all that test I was put through allows me to share my testimony today. And those messes are messages now.
That is exactly what he has done, working for addiction recovery care, starting his own ministry, and now a community liaison for the Letcher County Jail.
The same judge that I work for now actually he had put me in jail. And now we're best friends. You know, we stay on the phone, we communicate.
And now everything on his criminal record is erased, thanks to former Governor Matt Bevin's pardon.
And this pardon opens many doors that I wouldn't be able to open with stuff on my record. Because I have Class C felonies, which were not expungible. They would have never come off.
Clark said he is excited to be able to travel outside the country and minister.
I will not squander it because I'm so blessed to get that.
Saying the pardon adds to his testimony he shares with those that still fight addiction.
Now, Clark has since reconciled with his family and is excited to spend Christmas with them.
What a great story. Well, spoiler warning, season 39 of Survivor Island of the Idols ended last night. We talked with Whitley County native Elaine Scott about her journey on the show.
We're at the beginning of a warming trend across the region. I'll tell you how high the mercury could go in the next 7 days in about 3 minutes.